Hello. Daredevil by Mark Waid has been collected into an omnibus. It's been out for a fair while now. There is a second omnibus, but it's exorbitantly expensive to buy because it's not in print at the moment. This one can be bought for about £50 thereabouts, depending on whether you shop around. It's a great story with great different art in it. I really like the art. I think it's expressive. It gets across the world that Daredevil lives in and having to see things with sound and relying on things like that. It's all clear, it's incredibly well printed, and it's a great story. It follows Matt Murdock as he's in New York with Foggy, and he's come up against problems because he's still dealing with people knowing that he is Daredevil. He denies it, but everyone sort of keeps saying to him, look mate, we all know you're Daredevil. And he just has to say, no, I'm not Daredevil. And it keeps going on like that. But this finds he's got problems in court because obviously people use legal arguments to say, well, look, he's a vigilante, he can't really be a lawyer, he can't be impartial, people are scared of him, and the judges tend to agree, so it makes any case he's involved in sort of fall apart on the basis of a mistrial straight away. So what they do is they set up a firm where they coach people to represent themselves, which is quite a sort of clever get around. And he still uses his Daredevil skills to give them information and help them out, and use lie detecting on them to see if they're telling the truth and they're worth helping out. And I think that's a clever way. And he also gets involved in a relationship with the assistant DA, and he finds out that his friend Foggy has got cancer. He also has a great battle with an enemy called Ikari, and this is someone who's got all Daredevil's powers, but he can also see. And that's a great reveal when he does that, because Daredevil initially thinks that he's the same as him, doesn't realise he can see. And there's a scene where he's in a sports shop as part of this long running fight they're having, and he reaches for a bat, and Ikari goes, why don't you try the red one? And he goes, what? And he realises that obviously he can see as well, and that's why he's got the advantage on it in their battles. And Ikari's been created by someone recreating the accident that Matt Murdock was involved in over and over again, with all these people to try and have the perfect outcome. Turns out that person is Bullseye, who's in a sort of sarcophagus and just wired into machinery so that whilst he can't move, he can sit there and think all the time. I'm not sure how the story pans out in the second omnibus, and I don't think Bullseye comes up again in it, but it ends with Bullseye's fate is that he's in his sarcophagus, and then all the chemicals that cause Daredevil to have his powers leak into his sort of sarcophagus, and we don't know what happens from then on. I think he's just covered in chemical burns, but likely some writer will take that and make it that he's got powers now. As far as the binding goes, it's a great binding. It reads perfectly. You open it up, it lifts straight up. There's no gutter loss whatsoever in the book. Everything's sewn fully into the ribbon. You've got a nice eye on it when you read, and it feels good in the hand as well when you're reading it. It's not too big. It's probably about the perfect size for an omnibus, to be honest. You wouldn't want it packed into a sort of 1400 page omnibus with both volumes together. It'd be nice to get that, but ultimately I think it'd be a real cumbersome thing to read otherwise. If you're a fan of Daredevil but you don't like the sort of overly arty style of art that you can get with him sometimes, which I'm not personally a fan of, and nothing that's too wordy either, then this is a really good buy. You should find it, buy it, and enjoy it as best you can. As far as the extras go in the back, you get some variant covers, you get a Q&A sort of interview with Mark Waid, which is good to flick through and just pick bits out of, and you've got some sketches and draft page things. The worst bit in this omnibus is when he's with the Punisher, because the Punisher is drawn like a real pretty boy manga character, and ain't the Punisher as far as I'm concerned. It just doesn't look like the Punisher, doesn't feel like the Punisher, and that's the only thing that sort of grated me in the whole book. Otherwise I was very, very pleased with this, and it's definitely got sort of rereadability to it as well. There's lots of jokes, lots of fun to be had. Please let me know your comments below if you've read or got the second volume and you think it's worth tracking down and buying when it comes up for the right price. Let me know. And also please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.